Today we're going to make red beans and rice, a traditional Nollins classic. There's a few things we're going to need. We're going to need about a half a pound of bacon, about a pound of andouille sausage. I've got all this cut up and ready to go. About a half a pound of ham, finely chopped. We need beans. Now this is a pound of red kidney beans. Come in a dry package. You soak them overnight for about 6 to 8 hours. You get this. You could use canned beans. I wouldn't recommend it. Then we're going to need one chopped up stalk of green onion, chopped up bell pepper, chopped up medium onion, and a few stalks of celery to make our trinity. Then on the other side, oh, and also the most important ingredient that everybody forgets, lard. That's what makes it full. You're going to need white rice. You can make that at any point in the oven. You can steam it, whatever. You don't have to do it while you're cooking the beans. As far as our seasonings, I've got chicken stock ready to go, about 4 cups. I'm going to use some red cayenne pepper. Finder's The Blend, which is just salt, pepper, and garlic. Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Some thyme leaves. And last but not least, some minced garlic. When the pan gets about medium high, which it is now, we're going to start by dumping in the bacon. As that bacon cooks, you're going to render some pork fat. And as that happens, we're going to put in our trinity and let that cook down. Then we're going to work up from there ingredient by ingredient, extracting more pork fat, including the lard, till we get a base to actually cook our beans in and add our seasoning. So at this point, while the bacon's working, I'm just going to move that around and start to extract that fat. And now I'm going to move the camera so from here out you can see the process. Once you've got a good layer of fat building, I'm going to go ahead and add our celery, onions, and green pepper. Stir that in real good. And also go ahead and add some seasonings at this point. So I'm going to put in some of the Tony Chachere's. Probably about a tablespoon. We're also going to add some minced garlic at this point. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon of that as well. And our salt, pepper, and garlic blend. About the same. And then some thyme. And not very much, but some cayenne pepper. Maybe a teaspoon. And start to work that all together. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some lard to this. I'm going to let it cook down, and then we'll do our next step. And that's about 2 tablespoons of lard going in there. Mix that in and let that lard liquefy. Okay, it's been just a few minutes. That's cooked down. You can see that it's kind of creating almost a soup-like texture. And we're going to add our green onions and our ham at this point and let that mix in. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and add the andouille. That's a pound of andouille sausage cut up. If your butcher shop doesn't have andouille, you could use kielbasa. I would not recommend it. Or you can go into your grocer's refrigerator section, usually where the hot dogs and that kind of stuff are, and you'll find quite a few companies have an andouille sausage that's ready to go. The one I'm using today is actually the Zatarain's packaged andouille, and it comes in a 1 pound package, which is perfect to do this. As that cooks, we're going to let all that cook back up again at medium heat. And then, in about 4 or 5 minutes, as it's broken down some of that sausage, we're going to go ahead and add the beans and the liquid. I'll be right back. All right, this is cooked down a little bit. It's probably been, 3 or 4 minutes. And you can see that the sausage is kind of shrunken up, which is what I want. We've got a lot of the grease just at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and load in the beans and our stock. Stir this together. I might throw in a bay leaf or two here in a moment, but what I'm going to do now is let this come to a boil. And then, once it's reached that point, boil it for 3 or 4 minutes. Reduce your heat and simmer it. And it's going to need to simmer for about 2 hours. It's not a different day. I just changed clothes. But I want to show you the finished product. And man, I wish smell-o-vision was a real thing because it smells amazing in here. This is a really simple dish. Didn't take a great amount of time. It's still just lightly simmering. Now all I got to do is make some rice and pour it on and get after it. Let's take a look. All right, after a couple hours of simmering, there it is. I'm going to stir this around a little bit. Let me switch hands. And that is some amazing stuff. Now, before you serve this, as you take it off the heat, when you get ready to store it, you want to try to get all those bay leaves out of there. That they're not edible, and they're just going to cause things to sour sitting in the refrigerator. Make up some rice, pour it on, get after it. It's good stuff. One last thing in closing, I want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe. Very important. Please, I need your help. And happy Mardi Gras. It's that time of year. Eat fabulous. See you for the next one.